I'm Howard Phillips Lovecraft, and today's rather thoughtful question comes from Jackson, who notes that I've always been rather effusive with my praise and recognition for my various literary forebears, such as M.R. James, Arthur Machen, Robert W. Chambers, Lord Dunsany, Ambrose Bierce, Algernon Blackwood. The list goes on and on. But he notes that aside from a few rare exceptions, such as that towering titan of terror Edgar Allan Poe, many of these writers have been lost in memory. Their fame has dwindled, and indeed, Jackson notes, in many ways, my own fame and literary success in this contemporary day and age has overshadowed theirs. And he wants to know, well, what do I feel about that? And also, how would I feel to find out that some protege of mine had gone on to overshadow my own fame? Now, I want to answer this with a certain degree of delicacy. I don't want to give off a false sense of modesty, but believe me when I say that no one is more surprised by the success of my works than I am. I mean, I died in relative obscurity, and, well, it seemed like I would remain there. And it was through a precious little effort of my own that my works were rediscovered and continue to be rediscovered and go on to inspire others to create works of their own and reach back to me. The whole thing has become rather heady. I mean, there are now books and collections based on my stories. There are films, there are conventions, there's well, action figures. I mean, who would ever expect to have an action figure made of their monsters? It's just not the thing one really considered. So the idea that somehow my own works overshadow those of the, well, luminaries upon whose shoulders I rest, it's a bit awkward. But I hope that people's interest in me will translate into a curiosity about these wondrous writers who inspired me. I think that is the smallest thing I can do to repay the great debt I owe them. And besides, there's some cracking good reads to discover as well. Now, as for the second question about those who come after me, I assure you, there would be nothing more welcome in the world. I'm not some literary Kronos or who's trying to devour my young in order to keep them from usurping my place. Far from it. I would love to inspire some future generations of writers to go on and create such powerful works that the world ceases to care about H.P. Lovecraft. Indeed, perhaps one of you watching will take some inspiration, go read some of my stories, and then churn out such a furious amount of wonderful strangeness that all that remains of me is a footnote in the storied histories of your success. There's only one way to find out. Let's get to it. As always, I'm Howard Phillips Lovecraft. Thank you.